What's up YouTube? Welcome to Cars, Costs, and Technology. Today we're going to be discussing what I paid for my current C7 Corvette as well as what I paid for my previous C6 Corvette. Now I'm making this video by request. A lot of you guys have asked about this in the comments section, so I wanted to go ahead and put together one full video with all the details, covering all the information for you guys so you know. I do want to point out two major things before we get started though. Number one, I'm not showing off in this video. Actually, I probably paid a lot less for these cars than you may think, so if anything I would actually hide this information if I were wanting to show off. I'm just trying to be transparent with you guys, share this information, and hopefully it helps you in some way. Number two, I'm not bragging about the deal that I got on either of these cars. I think that I came out with a pretty average deal. I'm happy with it, but I'm definitely not saying that there aren't better deals to be had out there. Obviously, this is pretty personal information, so I just ask that you guys take it easy on me in the comments. But for those of you that are new to my channel, I have a 2016 Corvette Stingray. I bought it used. It's a 1LT. It had 12,000 miles on it. It had a few additional options that were added on over top of just the base Corvette Stingray, like the 8-speed auto transmission, performance exhaust, Z51 spoiler, and black rims. Now when we look at what a brand new one would cost if I were to purchase it from GM, this is a 2017, I know, but 2016 and 2017 didn't have a drastic change in MSRP, so I'm going to use this as a reference point. But when you add in the additional options, it brings the total price with the destination charge to about just over $60,000. Now if you look at the bottom, one thing I want to point out, the payment estimator gives you a quote with almost an 8% interest rate, so I would almost ignore that unless if you have pretty bad credit. So just want to show you guys what this car would cost brand new, just over $60,000. Now my car being used with 12,000 miles on it, they were asking $49,000 at the dealership for this exact car. Now after negotiating and discussing everything, I was able to get the price down to $46,000, which I'm pretty happy with. I'm sure that there could have been a little more wiggle room if I would have been a little more persistent, but I really wanted the car and I was happy with the $46,000. Now when we made the deal, I went ahead and put $6,000 down on the car. Obviously your down payment can vary, depending on what you're comfortable with. I personally got a pretty good interest rate, so I didn't want to put much more than $6,000 down. I was comfortable financing $40,000. Now with that being said, I did a 72-month term. That put my monthly payment at $610. Now I'm comfortable with a little bit of a longer term because I'm pretty disciplined about paying extra to the principal. Obviously if you don't feel that same way, you can go with a shorter term if you want to get paid off quicker, but I've already paid a couple $100 extra to the principal in just a few months that I've owned the car, so I was comfortable going the longer term and getting a little bit more flexibility in my monthly payment. So that's the details guys, $610 per month. Now when we look at the values on this car, I wanted to point out why I'm pretty happy with my deal. The trade-in range puts it right around an average of just under $45,000, which is very close to what I paid for it. Private party resale value on Kelley Blue Book is at $48,000, so that's above what I paid for it. So an NADA also puts it right around $48,000 retail value or $45,000 trade-in value. So I feel very close on the numbers of what I paid to what the car is worth right now, and granted this was 2 months ago, so I'm pretty happy with the pricing that I got. When we look at retail pricing, if you were buying this from a dealer, it actually could be as high in the 50s. So I mean, as high as $55,000, so I'm very happy with it. Now let's talk about my C6 Corvette. It was a 2005 Corvette with the 1SB or preferred equipment group. This was not a Z51, and it did have 27,000 miles on it when I purchased this car. This was actually my first Corvette, so I kind of wanted to get my feet wet with something not quite as expensive and test the waters, but I really like this car. I was so glad I started out with it. When I went to purchase this, the asking price on this was $29,000, and this was back in 2015, so granted pricing on the C6s have changed quite a bit since then. I was able to negotiate the price down to $25,000, so about a $4,000 discount, much better of a percentage than I was able to get off my C7 Corvette. I went ahead and put $5,000 down when I purchased my C6, obviously financing $20,000. Now again, this is back where we get into interest rates and loan terms, but my specific interest rate and loan term put my monthly payment at $370 a month. So obviously my C6 was much more affordable than my C7, but for those of you thinking about buying a Corvette, I think a C6 is a really great option if it's going to be, if you're kind of restricted by the budget. C6 or even a C5 for that matter are really great cars, and you can find them for pretty inexpensive prices. Right now, that same C6 that I sold, I actually ended up selling it for about $21,000. They're worth just over $20,000 now, so definitely check those out online if you're thinking about buying your first Corvette. But anyway, guys, I hope this information was helpful to you. Again, I just wanted to kind of fill you guys in on what kind of discounts you could possibly expect when buying a used Corvette, what the pricing is on certain models, especially the trim level that I have. But if you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. If you have any other questions, feel free to let me know in the comments. I really appreciate you watching, and I appreciate all your support, guys. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.